Hello everybody, it's Evan. We have another showdown for you in our look at different learning management systems that are available to Iowa teachers. Today we're going to look at Canvas. Canvas is the name of the LMS, and it's from a company called Instructure. Canvas is typically an LMS that you would purchase, and I'll talk briefly about why you would want to purchase an LMS as a school. But it does have a free access. In fact, if you go to Canvas's website, which is canvas.instructure.com, or if you Google it, you'll find it there. You can go ahead and create a free teacher account. Just click here and we'll let that come up. There it is. And you can go ahead and sign up for a teacher, and this will let you do the basics of the course. Everything we'll see today will be done with the free account, including a free student account. If you had to have a purchased account for your school, what that will let you do is a lot of the things that we saw that Moodle will let you do, as well as a purchased Schoology account. It lets you go and manage your users. You can import users based on, from your student information system or such. One of the biggest benefits from Canvas is it works really well with PowerSchool for bringing in the users within your PowerSchool student information system. And then if you've got them enrolled in a course within PowerSchool, say I've got them enrolled in my Algebra 1 first hour section, it will automatically bring those people in and give them accounts within the Canvas section of that course too. And then the flip side is you can take grades from Canvas here and then send them back out to PowerSchool. It doesn't work quite as well with other student information systems, though they're working on that. They do have an integration that works with JMC, but not necessarily one that works with Infinite Campus at the point. Canvas, though, as a company, is great to work with. We've worked with them just a little bit, but we have worked with schools who worked with them. And very much great customer support on the phone. That's another thing you pay for. When you pay for it, you get the customer support. They also have good training, on-site training, and they'll help answer questions about things. If you're interested in using your learning management system for different purposes, they are very open to helping find a solution for that. They're also expanding what they're doing and kind of reshaping the learning management system field. They're doing a lot with standard-based grading type of items, and also using it as a formative assessment piece or even a diagnostic assessment piece within the classroom itself, things you wouldn't traditionally use a learning management system for. Today, though, we're going to look just at the learning management system part, and as always in our showdown, we're going to make the same course. So I'm actually going to go over to Canvas. I have logged in, and like other learning management systems, you have a dashboard page when you get there. As a teacher, you can go in and just click here to start a new course. And we are making one called Presentation Zen as a part of the Showdown series for 2015. I'm going to go ahead and create that. All right. And here's the first page that you see. Now, Canvas comes with a couple of useful help pieces. They have some on-site tutorials, and they also have a nice setup checklist that can help you go through the parts. So teachers find it very easy to get started and get going with it. I encourage to have a little bit of training up front just to kind of see someone else go through it. But if you are a hands-on person and you like to kind of explore on your own, this is a good tool for you. All right, now one of the things that, before we get into our item-by-item analysis of the LMS, just kind of showing you the layout of Canvas here. You can see that the courses are listed here. If I were to click on that, I could see other courses that I've created. I've got a dummy course that I've been working on, as well as my new one. And then I've got other features that are more for an account. So I've got my own inbox for communication. Commons I'll talk about in our advanced feature area. This is my profile information, my calendar for events that are coming. So if I'm a student and I'm in multiple classes, or if I'm a teacher and I have multiple classes that I'm teaching, I can kind of see all that information displayed in one spot. Moodle and Schoology do the same thing. I really like Canvas's way in which they display it. It's not necessarily different or has more to it, but it's very streamlined. I like how it displays it over there. And as we mentioned before, the dashboard is kind of the front page where it brings all of your stuff together at a quick glance. Okay, I'm going to go back into the course. Within the course, you'll notice that as we go through these different showdowns, courses, different learning management systems lay out courses in different manners. Moodle, for example, allows you to have different structures to your course, whether you have them in your units tabbed or whether you have it in a long display, you have grid format, you have a lot of things like that. Something like Edmodo or Google Classroom uses the wall format. It's the timeline approach where as you add things in, it gets added to the timeline. You don't really have the ability to restructure it very well and make it more organizational. Canvas actually lets you choose how you want to do it. You can do it in a lot of different ways. They let you choose what exists as your home page. You can click here. Now some of these things are not active because we haven't done anything in the course yet, but you can have the timeline, which they call their activity stream. So this would be like Google Classroom or Edmodo, how they have that set up. The more traditional format, which we're going to do for ours, is a course module, and this is kind of like what Moodle will do. You could also, though, if you're using this for blended learning and you're not going to have it so that students really have to read and work through things on their own, all they're going to do is just go to it for assignments that they would do outside the classroom. Then the assignment list might be what you're looking for. All it's going to do is just kind of list out the assignments. Some teachers who, for example, if I have a math class and they have daily homework that they do every day, I do all my teaching in class, but then they go home and they complete an assignment. All I need to do is just list out the assignments day by day. Student goes in, okay, here's Tuesday's assignment, they complete it. Wednesday's assignment, they complete it. And that's what they're using it for. It takes out a lot of the complexity and it takes out a lot of the building time as a teacher. And to organize it that way is kind of a nice feature. You can also organize it by your syllabus. We're going to upload a syllabus later on, which is a little different than this, but you can set up a syllabus within here and then have that be your home page, and then students would go through that day by day as they go through as well. And then finally, this is grayed out right now, but you can set up a page. We'll see what pages look like here when we get going, but you can have a page be your front, and that can let you control what they can click and link out to as well. So I'm going to do modules, as I mentioned, because that's kind of more the traditional what a learning management system looks like. And it comes in here, and I don't have anything in here yet, but we're going to start adding those things in. The other thing that Canvas does, and again, I like the layout of this. I know Moodle and Schoology both do this as well, is that they break down the different components of the class. So yeah, you have your home page, how it's all organized, but if you just want to see your forums, which they call discussions, you can click on it, and those will come up here. If you just want to see all of the pages in the course, you can click there, and those will come up. If you just want to see all the quizzes or all the collaborations, we'll talk about that in our advanced section, all those items are broken out as well. So you can organize, but you can let students find things pretty easily as well. All right, the first thing we want to do is we want to add in a header. Now, this is one of the things that Canvas is not set up to do as well as Moodle. Canvas and Schoology kind of treat this the same way. Moodle lets you have a little bit more customization that you can do with it. So in my unit, I want to have a header, and I've got the text, so I'll go over here to it. So here's the information, kind of the directions, and such that I want to add. Okay, and so I'm ready to go, and I want to add that up here. When I go in and I create a module, so we'll call this the introductory unit, which I'm creating. Okay, so I've added that in. It doesn't let me go in and change the items within it. Okay, so I can go in and add things underneath, such as a text header. I'm going to go ahead and do that, but you can see how it's limited right there. What in Canvas, instead of adding all of this text here, all you're limited to do is to add in just a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and add that item. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to work a little out of order here. And it's mainly because since we can't add in text for a header on this page, we also can't add in an embedded video on this page. So we're going to move that down a little bit as we're going to go ahead and add in a page. Just to review, when we talk about a page on a learning management system, that is, instead of seeing all the content here listed out, you'd click on this and it would take you to a new page. Canvas does all of their organization that way. They don't put anything on here. A lot of teachers really like that because it kind of cleans up the page. And they're very easy to add. So I go ahead and I click Add. We saw how we added a text header before. This time I'm going to add a content page. Okay, now it says here, and this is a little confusing, it says select the wiki page you want to associate with this. This can be kind of confusing. What Canvas is doing is it's creating a wiki behind the scenes. And all that it means is it's creating kind of a connection of all these pages together. And it will allow you to see all of them below. Don't be too fooled by this. You're just creating basically individual pages. And you haven't created any pages here beforehand. There is actually a way of creating pages outside of the modules and then basically linking them here. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to click to add in a new page. When I do that, it asks for that new page. And I wanted to create, since we didn't do it before, I'm going to go ahead and add in the welcome here. I'm going to click add that item. Okay, now it's added in. If I go in and edit it, okay. So now if I click on it, I see the page here, and now I'm ready to edit that page. It's going to bring up an editor. We call this a WYSIWYG editor, which stands for what you see is what you get. And you can go in here and paste in all of that content that we had before. All right. One of the things we wanted to do was to add in an image, and you can do that. It asks you to go in and put in the link to an image, or you can go in here and you can go under your files within Canvas and put those in. Now, I don't have any files at the moment, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the files here. I'm going to show you how I can upload an image. Let's do this here. There they are. Alright, so I want that image. Now that I've uploaded it into my file area, I can go back here under Canvas, go under, there it is. Okay, and you can go in, you can change the size if you'd like. I'm just going to go ahead and put that in, and then I am going to move that to the right. When I do that, it'll wrap the text around it, and it looks pretty good. Right now I can save it. Saving and publishing will make it active so that students will be able to see it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. We don't have any students in the course, but all right, and there's my page. All right, now let's go back to our home page. And you can see the page was added. I want to show you a couple things. First off, I want to go ahead and increase the indent. That just moves it over. By the way, you can move things and rearrange them very easily, just like in other learning management systems. Very handy to do that. I mentioned publishing before. You see, I haven't published the module yet. I can click on that and that'll publish everything in it. I still have the course unpublished, so I want to publish the course before I have students go in as well. But that's kind of like, I know in Moodle I call it hiding or making it visible. That's the way Canvas organizes those. All right. Next item, we're going to go back and look at embedding that video. And I'm going to go ahead and add in another page. The way to do this is to add in a page. And again, you can see here where you could add another link to the page you've already created. I want to make a new one. Okay. And the page I'm going to create is right here. And I'm going to go ahead and just call it this. And I can indent straight from here if I'd like. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to edit that. Oh, sorry, I'm going to click on it. And then I'm going to edit it. All right, now I'm ready to go in, and I've got the text that I want. I'm going to add in that title again. I want to show you something when I do. It'll put in the title, and you see here, just like in other LMSs, you can change the text size and the font as well. Now, I've got the content. I want to embed a video below. Here you can do that. You can click on HTML editor, and it's going to put it into the code. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to go grab the embed code that I've got for the video I want. I'm going to paste that in. And when I do that, I'm going to go ahead and publish it. And it has embedded that video in there. Okay. So, back on my home page, you can't embed the video within this modular view, but if you wanted videos to show up on your home page, you could create a page, set that page under Choose Home Page as your home page, and then you would be able to see the videos right from there, as well as links to these other items that you've created. All right, now we're going to go and take a look at how to add in a link within Canvas. Same process, click here to add an item. I'm going to add in external URL, and I'm going to go and grab the code. This particular link is a link to a lesson that I created elsewhere. I'm going to paste that in. Now for page name, this happens to be a lesson called Presentation Zen, One Person's Journey. I can make it open in a new tab if I'd like, and I'm going to go ahead and indent that and make it active. So now when I click on it, and I'll bring that up. Okay. Going back to the item, again, if I wanted it to open up in a new tab, in other words, not be embedded, if I click on that, it will go and actually open that up in a new window. All right, so far we've looked at how to go and create a header. Remember, you can't create the text header within this modular view. You have to make a separate page for that. There it is. You also need to, we've also taken a look at how to embed video and create a link. Now we want to look at how to go and upload a file. Okay, so click here, and I'm going to go down to a file. And it's asking you to select the file that you'd like. I'm going to click here to make a new one. Okay, and I'm going to browse. And when I go into finding the file, I've got one down here. It's a PDF. I'll click open. And I can, if I have other folders within, I could select the one I'd want for that. Go ahead and indent that too. You don't have to indent. I kind of like doing that just so for my own visual sake, so I can see the different pieces that are in there. All right, and that's going to upload it. I have had some issues today with it trying to upload documents onto the Canvas document. This isn't typical. Usually it works out pretty well. I can see though here it's spinning, so we'll give that a few more seconds. All right, so I've uploaded the document. There you can see it. The icon here at the beginning kind of shows you what it is. If I were to click on that, that document would show up. It's an ebook, so it's going to take a little bit of time. I can click here to download that document if I don't want it to appear straight within it. But you can see this one happens to be 216 pages, so it does take a little bit of time to download. Again, you can upload any file. That way you can upload a PowerPoint, you can upload a Word document, any file you'd like. Only if it's something like a PDF will it display right within the screen. Otherwise, it'll just ask you to download it there. All right, so now we've added a file. The next thing we're going to do is add a Google Doc file. Now, in other LMSs, they have a tighter integration so that when I click on Files, for example, and I'd click here to upload a file, up here would become the option of just, instead of just taking you to your computer, you could say whether you want to upload from your computer or if you want to go to your Google Docs file. We saw that in Moodle and Edmodo and Schoology do that. Canvas does not. Now they do have some other integrations, which I'll show you in a second. But for right now, you're not able to do that. The workaround, though, is not a problem at all. In fact, it works out really well. What you're simply going to do is you're going to go home and you're going to add in a link. And you're going to go to your document. Here is my course schedule. I want to add into my course. It's in Google Docs, as you can see. I'm going to click on Share. And I'm going to grab the link there. You can grab it through the shareable link, or you can just grab it straight from here. And then when I go back to my course, and I paste it in, go ahead and label it there. Again, I could have it load in a new tab, but so instead I wanted to embed straight within there. So I'm going to go ahead and click Add Item. And there it is. I'll publish it. And now when I click on it, it's going to put it straight within there, and you can see it's listed, and I have, since I'm logged in at Google Docs, I have the editing ability. Now if I was a student, I wouldn't have the editing ability. I could just view it. So that's a way in which you can go and add in your Google Docs. One thing that they do, which I think is really neat, is this collaborations area, which you can go, and anybody can use this. A teacher can use it, a student can use it if they'd like. You can set up your own Google Docs collaboration. And it does tell you you need to have a Google account before you do this, which is fine. But if I were to create a document, and let's go ahead and just create that there. Down here, I could click and identify the people within the class that I'd like to have. Now, we don't have any other classes in here, but if I click Start Collaborating, I have just created a Google Doc with it there. And again, if I had other people in the class, they would then be invited to that. And if they clicked on collaborations, they would see it right there. And they would be able to go to it. So it is a great way to go the other way. Normally we create a Google Doc file and we go into our learning management system. Here, you start your learning management system and use it to go and create a Google Doc collaboration file. It only works for the Google Docs. It doesn't work for the spreadsheet or the Excel in the free package. There are, with the paid package, some other things you can install into collaborations if you'd like. All right, so we've taken a look so far at the content things that we would add. Again, going back to our home page. We looked at adding in a header, which we do within a page. We looked at embedding a video, as well as adding in a link. We looked at uploading a document and inserting a Google Docs file. Now we're ready for interactive pieces. The next item is a discussion, which is kind of like a forum or a collaborative area, whatever the case is. I'm going to go in and add in, actually, I'm going to go back home here, and I'm going to click the button to add it this way. And I'm going to add in a discussion, create a new one, and I'm going to call my forum, my discussion, this, and add that in. Okay, now I'm going to go in and edit it. You have the same WYSIWYG editor. You can put whatever you like in there. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that, put that in. And I mentioned before, you can put in images if you'd like. I think I'll skip the image for right now. I'll put another one in later. Canvas does allow you to go in and make it so that it's threaded replies. A threaded reply would allow a person to reply to a reply or to another reply or such. You can also make it so that you can like different answers. And you can make it so that it is graded. If it is graded, I'll make it out of 10 points. And again, you can go and have a different type of grading scale. Put it into different things. You can require peer reviews just like you can with assignments. And then you can also assign it to groups if you like, if you have groups set up. And then you can also make it so that users have to post before they can see the replies. So if you want to have people take a guess before they're looking at other people's answers, it's a good one to allow as well. So lots of little features to make their discussions more powerful. All right, so I click on there. As a teacher, I can go in. You can see that I can add in my own responses. And I can post that. And then it gets posted there. And you can have those expanded or collapsed if you'd like. And again, you can reply to the main one up here, or I can go into this one and reply here. And I can also like answer too, if I'd like. All right, our next item, we're going to add in an assignment. So I'm going to go back to our home page. And I'm going to click here to add an assignment. And let's see, our assignment is right here. And just like before, I add it in first, and then I go in and I edit it. And I'm going to grab the content, put that in. Oops, I must have missed. Yep. Let's try that again. Nope. I'm going to go ahead and add in another image just for kicks. And again, I forgot we need to upload the image first, which you can see here. So it's not in the course files yet. Upload it first, so I'm going to do that. Go into my files area. And I'm going to go back here. And I need to refresh my page, so I'm going to save it here. I'm going to do 10 points. Submission type, I want them to submit it online. And I can have it be a text entry or submit a URL or a media recording, but I'm going to do a file upload. I'm not going to have a group, I'm not going to have a peer review, but I could do those if I'd like. I'm going to click Save. And then when I go back in now, that image will show up under here. And update that, and I'm going to put that over to the right. There we go. All right. And save. You can add in a rubric for this. Moodle likewise had rubrics where you can go in and you can go and add in criteria. You can change the rating scale that you use for that. It's a little bit of a simplified rubric, but you can go in and add in other categories if you'd like, and then once you do that, I can change the number of points that they're worth as well. So allows you to customize it kind of on the flow. If you want to, you can search for rubrics within the Commons area or other things that you've created. If you don't want to have to recreate the wheel, you can do that. Okay, so now we've looked at adding in a forum and an assignment. Now our last item is to add in a quiz. And we're going to do that here. Go under our quiz area. We have basics of the course quiz. All right, now I'm going to edit this. And I can put in my general instructions for the quiz. This is a nice feature of learning management systems. The light LMSs don't let you really go and do that at all. So the settings for it, I want to be graded. I can shuffle my answers. I could set up a time limit. I could set up multiple attempts if I'd like. Again, for people who are brand new to learning management systems, they've got a lot of different options within quizzes, so it takes a little bit of time to kind of play with it and see what you like. You can show one question at a time. You can require an access code or filter IP addresses to make sure they're taking the quiz at a proctored location if you would like. Once I've done that, I can go into my questions. This is where you add questions. Make a new question. You can see the different question types they've got. Overall, this is a pretty good amount of questions. It's not quite as much as Moodle. It's more than Schoology, and it's much more than either Edmodo or Google Classroom. So first one that I want to do is a multiple choice. I'm going to click here and grab my multiple choice text. And then the answers down here, I'm going to go ahead and go through this pretty quickly, speed it up. Alright, you can see I've added those in. I can add in other answers if I would like. And I can go in and add in things to make it a little bit more specific. So like, for example, I can add in math items here. If I want to add in square roots and such like that, I can add those items in as well. I can add in an image into my question answers if I'd like to have my options be images. So you don't have to do that, but you can. And you go ahead and you select which one is the correct answer. And again, if that one is it, you can select that one instead. And then once I'm done, put that one in. That was a multiple choice question. So you can also put in a multiple answer question. And we've got one of those here. Alright, so for these, you can select whichever ones are possible answers. And then again, like before, you can add in a number of points. And then you got it in. One last question type here. We'll take a look at true false. Skip that one, go down here to true false. And again, I can say whether it's true or false. Update that question. And there we go. So I'll let you go, add in several different question types, set some points for them. All right, and we'll save that quiz. And there we go. All right, we're ready to go and share this with students. Before we do, I'm going to go ahead and publish these items I don't have published yet. Again, I could take them and unpublish them if I wanted to hide them from people. But I also want to publish the course. And when I do that, now I am ready to have students go. Now I can do this one of two ways. I can go under People, and I can add a person. So for example, I can add in email address and paste that in, and add that user. Okay, and so that person will get an email which they can then click on and link out to. The other way of doing it, though, is you can set it up so that students can self-enroll. And to do that, I go into the settings for the course. I go into more options, and I'll let students self-enroll by a secret code. And I've created that. And so here is that the link, or if they go to Canvas and they use this code to join, then they'll be able to do that. All right. So I'm in here as a student. I'm going to go ahead and paste in that code. I'm going to enroll in the course, and I'm going to go to the course. Okay, so now I'm in as a student, and I can again view the different pages and such. We mentioned that you can view things by themselves over here. You can go onto the course and kind of go in order. If I go under the forum, for example, post that, and I'll put it underneath, or if I want to, I can reply here. And I can, of course, like myself, because that's what I want to do. If I go back to the home page, go to the assignments, and I'm going to submit this assignment here. Remember, it gave you some options for what you want to put in, and I said I wanted to upload a file. We'll say, pretend this is the file that I want to upload. So let's do this one here instead. And we're going to go ahead and submit it without any comments. All right, now that shows that I've submitted over here, and I can see the details. I can see what I uploaded. Again, another option would be to record myself speak, or to do to type in my answer. Have an online text editor. And then finally, I can go in and take that quiz really quick. Yeah, let's see. Missed that one on purpose. And there we go. Okay, and I'll get immediate feedback back. So tell me again which is correct and what isn't. And again, if there was written feedback from the computer, that would also, or that you would put in for that quiz, it would show that as well. And I can see that within my gradebook. All right, so let's take a look at grades in the gradebook. I mentioned that students can go in and see their grades in the gradebook. Let's go back here for a teacher. Take a look at those items. Now you can be notified that you've got things right here. This makes it very handy to say, hey, you've got something that needs to be graded. But you can also go into, let's say we go into the forum, and we can, underneath the person, we can click and open that up in SpeedGrader. I can see the forum posts that they create. I can give them the points. Let's give them 9 out of 10. I could add a comment if I'd like. I could record myself. This is something that Moodle and Schoology will do as well. I really like these tools. And I'm going to go ahead and close that, and I'll put that in. I'm going to submit that comment. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay, so we've got that added in. Now, if I go back to the home page, you know what? I can go by different students by clicking through there if I'd like. Now I can also go in under the assignments. And here I can download the submissions. I gather those and download those for me. I'm going to cancel out of that. Again, I can go to my speed grader. And here you can see the assignment. One of the things that I like about this tool is you have the ability to go and highlight it as well as comment on it. Yep. So, and then the student will be able to see that. We saw something similar in Moodle and Edmodo as well. Go ahead and annotate as you'd like. And then you can add in a score. And again, record your comments if you'd like. Okay, and that'll save it for you. And go back to the course. Once that has been added in, if I go over to my student view and I refresh that screen, those will be added in, and again the comments will appear over here as well. If I click on grades as a teacher, I'll see the gradebook view. Again, I've only got one student active in here. You can see other students put in here. And then if I want to click on the comments, I could do so. Click on there and see what the comments have been added in. All right. We're going to now look at how to communicate with students back and forth. Now, as we mentioned, if we go back into the course, one of the things that you can add in is an announcement. And it's just like any forum post. You can attach a document if you'd like and such. Okay, and you can go in and add in other announcements if you want, and those will be posted here. You can, when those are created, those will appear over on the side for students. All right. Now, the next item you might ask is, well, how can you go and interact with students directly? That's one of the things that Canvas doesn't do very well, is it doesn't allow you to go and interact with student to student very closely. You can see the students in your class. If you click on people, for example, you can see them listed there. And you could go in and further control what they can see and such. If I go under user details, you can see this listed here. But you don't have the ability to go in other than to just grab their email address and email them separately. However, you can go in, you can see what their grades are. You can see the interaction report, what they have done with their, the last interaction that's done with the course, and then also when they have viewed specific things in the past. All right. Last time we're going to look at is some extra features, and within Canvas there are a couple things that I wanted to mention. One of which, we mentioned the collaborations. They also have a built-in conference feature where you can create a conference. This is like a live session that you would use. It uses a free tool called the Big Blue Button. If you have a purchased version of Canvas, you can actually put in other conference types within there. And so if you wanted to have like some office hours where students could log in from wherever they're at and get some help, you could use it through this. And that's one of the things that's integrated in there. Another item that is very popular within Canvas is called Commons. Now, Commons is a repository. We've talked about repositories before in these showdowns. The Canvas repository, Commons, is, I'm going to go ahead and authorize it here, is something where they have gathered resources from people across the country. So for example, this is an assignment that Roseanne Ely has uploaded on the Personal Declaration of Independence. I could click on it. By creating it, she has gone in and tagged it for what it would work. It says for an 8th grade or such. Let's say I want to use that. I can go ahead and just import that into my course. And then if I go back to my course, you're going to find the assignment is listed in the assignment tab here. There it is. Now I need to go in and add it into the course and activate it. And I believe what I'm going to need to do is just link it within there. So I'm going to go ahead and add in an assignment and click on that Personalized Declaration of Independence. Let's take a look at it just out of curiosity. Go in, you can see what she created there. If you're writing your own Declaration of Independence, this is what you need. Oh, I want to go in and add in some more information. I can edit it. I can put in my own items. And you can see I can kind of proofread and add in my own point value. If I wanted to add a rubric to it, I could do that as well. So that Commons area is well worth taking a look at to go and see what's available, and it might be good for ideas to add to your course as well. And that's a look at Canvas as a learning management system within our showdown. Overall, we really like working with Canvas. As I mentioned, their customer service for the paid version works really well. It doesn't have the feature set that Moodle does. Moodle actually has more features and more analytics. So if you're looking for a lot of data analysis and such, Moodle will be your better end. However, this is going to be a quicker, an easier learning curve for teachers. They have slimmed it down a little bit. It's kind of in the middle between this and some of your light LMSs. It's very easy to use, as you saw, and it's very easy for students to go in and participate. And it also looks very clean. That's one of the things we hear from teachers who use this. They love the way that it is clean and easy to use. Again, if you have questions about Canvas or any learning management systems, please feel free to give us a call or contact us to visit out with you further. We don't promote one learning management system over the other, but we do want to help give you accurate information, since purchasing a product like Canvas or Schoology can be a big expense. We want to make sure you know what you're getting for your money, so you get your money's worth.